I just did a video on my Facebook business page about how do you know when it's time to buy your first home. So I may post that here, I may not, but I thought I'd jump on, kind of expand a little bit more, tell you a little bit about more about my journey. That will also kind of tell you how I run my business. My first property I purchased when I was late 30s. I was done with roommates. Love you guys if you're watching. But I was done with roommates, wanted some stability to know that nobody could move me out. There were going to be rent increases, that kind of stuff. I'd been saving for a while, had a down payment, and I just thought it was the right time to do it. But the reality is, it was still scary. I didn't have a parent or anybody guiding me through the process. I was solo on this. I dragged friends to see the place 3 or 4 times. I think my realtor was probably going to kill me. We were there and just kind of delaying it, because it was, analysis paralysis. I just couldn't make the decision. It was very tough. We're looking at water pressure, lighting, all whole deal. Meanwhile, I love the place. I was financially ready. And I wish I had somebody to help guide me through that process, to make that purchase, make that decision. But the reality is I did make that decision, and it was a great decision. So I lived in that place for a few years. It was a 600 square foot place. It was a small condo. Lived that, built up equity, and then I moved on to my next place. And I actually kept that place. I was able to rent it out, going down that investment property route, which was great. The second time I purchased, much easier decision. I was familiar with the process. I was confident that I could afford it. And these are kind of things that I bring to my business, in that I want to make sure people are comfortable through the process, that all their questions are answered, so that the finance piece is not a concern for them, and that they know what the steps are going to be. So when they see a property they love, they can think about their family and their time in that property versus worrying about the financial piece. So that's how I focus on my business. And whether it's the right time to buy or not, that's really up to you. Are you ready for more room? Ready not to have a roommate? Are your finances squared away? A lot of people talk about the market, and I think those are kind of red herrings, right? Those life stage questions, those financial questions, they're not about the market. They're not about rate, find the best rate. Because the reality is, rates go down, guess what? More people come to the market, which drives the pricing up. So timing the market is possible. Your realtor can't time it. Your mom can't time it. Your dad, I can't time it. The reality is, if today you can afford it and you're qualified for it and you see a property you love, I'd say go for it. Now's a good time. And it's not your forever property. It doesn't have to be your forever property, right? There's stages. Buy a property now and you move up the property ladder as life progresses. You build equity in your property and you move it into a bigger property or a better property. So those are kind of things I always, kind of focus on when I'm talking to buyers. But the first step is, talk to a mortgage professional. Talk to me. Let's find out if you're in a position to buy. Do you have the down payment? Are you financially stable to do it? What's your credit look like? If you're not quite there, hey, we can figure out a plan to get you there, right? We're going to talk about managing debt loads, getting that down payment up where we need to, and then making sure you understand what the budget's going to be. So talk to me before you talk to a realtor. It's very rare that happens, mind you, but that is the right process. Let's get you a budget so you know what you should be looking at. We'll get you that pre-approval so you can go out and look with some confidence. So